Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Today we want to share with you some initial due diligence on Block Inc., formerly known as Square, and determine if Square is a stock to buy now, is it a stock to watch, is it a stock to invest in for the long term. And please stick around for the end of the video. We'll talk about our opinions, some of our experience with Square, going quite some time back, and also our opinions as to the potential future of Square. So please stick around to the end of the video and we'll talk about the potential future of Square. So let's get started on our initial due diligence on Square, Block Inc., to determine is Square a stock to buy now, is it a stock to put on your watch list, and if so, for what types of investment. So let's get started. Okay, hopefully you're already familiar with Square or Block Inc., but just a quick overview of their description, their profile text. Block Inc., together with its subsidiaries, creates tools that enable sellers to accept card payments, reporting, analytics, settlement, etc. Has hardware products, mag strip readers, which swipe transactions, swipe cards, contactless chip readers. You can see it accepts Europay, MasterCard, Visa. It's got some communications. It's got a point of sale stand they call the Square stand. Has iPad support. It's got a register, point of sale software, point of sale hardware. They've got a terminal. Again, they're focused on swipe payments, and then they've also got another variety of other software products related to retail, point of sale, online checkout, etc. Invoicing, loyalty management, which is another retail product, and then they also have gift cards, etc. So again, software. And you can see they support internationally, so they're very global. They're based in California, etc. So again, if you were not previously familiar with Square, that's who Square is. That's kind of the coverage of their products and services. So now we'll dig a little deeper into Square. Okay, if we take a real quick look at Square's homepage, Block Inc., and I'll put a direct link to this homepage in the description box below. We can kind of see how do they market themselves, how do they describe themselves, what kind of products, etc. do they offer. So we can see they offer a number of product categories: commerce, customers, banking, which is interesting, staff and developer. You can see their commerce covers point of sale, online checkout, terminals, online payment solutions, payment processing, etc. You see their customers, they have a loyalty program, etc., gift cards, banking. This is interesting. They offer checking, savings, and loans. So I found that interesting. And then they also have time card and payroll services and benefit services. And then they also have an API, etc. So different types of businesses they cover. Obviously retail. I thought this was interesting that they focus on CBD retail. So there's a cannabis industry bent to it. Food and beverage. You can see bars, etc., ghost kitchens. That was interesting that they pointed that out. Professional services. So again, service providers, and then they have large business solutions. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then you can see they market themselves as solutions for now small, medium, and large businesses. And again, if you stick around to the end of the video, we'll talk about some of our experiences going quite some time back with Square. So we again kind of see some of the tools: commerce, customers, loyalty program. Again, point of sale is a major focus. This is interesting too. They have email and SMS marketing. Again, banking. So integration with banking, and then also it was interesting that they're integrating with time management, payroll, etc., time card, etc. solutions as well. Again, major focus is retail, food and beverage, services, and then they've got examples of some of their point of sale, different checkout devices, registers. So again, they've grown quite a bit since we initially encountered Square years ago that we'll talk about, cash flow assistance, and then how you can get started, etc. So, and they have a breadth of global presence, many tools, and a good social media presence. Again, it was founded by Jack Dorsey, who is also the founder of Twitter. So, as you can imagine, they'll have a good social presence on Twitter. So now let's dig more into Square SQ, ticker symbol SQ, as a stock. Is this a stock to buy now, stock to put on your watch list, or a stock to avoid? So we'll dig into it. Okay, if we look at Square Block Inc., ticker symbol SQ, their profile is ChartMill, and I will leave a direct link as well as our affiliate link to ChartMill in the description box below. We like ChartMill as a good tool to do much of our due diligence. So again, I'll leave a link to this profile and our affiliate link to ChartMill in the description box below. It's easy to look up any stock. You just enter the ticker symbol in there and you can get to their profile. So again, here's the overview, the profile on ChartMill. We can see an overview of the chart. We'll dig into the chart in a little more detail in a minute, but we can see it's severely broken down. Again, this is as of May 12th, 2022. Tech stocks and in particular fintech stocks, financial technology stocks, have been under a lot of pressure lately in this bear market. So we could see Square's been in major decline. It's well below its moving averages. And again, it's in major decline, so we can see the technical analysis rating is very poor. The setup is poor. However, if we look at the fundamental analysis rating, it's average, middle. It's a growth stock, so it's got a very positive growth rating, has a very poor valuation and profitability rating, and an average middle health rating. So we can see they recently reported earnings, and we'll look at the outcome of that. Has a very small institutional ownership, so that's something of note. Has a market cap of 41 billion. You can see the forward PE is very high. The PE is high. It does not pay a dividend and is well represented by analysts. So, and again, here's the profile that we looked at a minute ago. So let's now start digging into our due diligence on some of the other aspects of Square as a stock to buy now. Okay, if we do some technical analysis on their stock chart in ChartMill, on a daily chart, again we can see it's broken down below its moving averages. It's in a downward trend. Again, there's been a lot of pressure on technology stocks, growth stocks, and in particular fintech stocks recently in this bear market. Again, we're in May of 2022, so a lot of pressure on tech and growth tech stocks. So we can see it is really broken down and is declining. We see a lot of volume. We can see this previous gap up, and we can look at the reason for that in the news, etc. in a minute. On a weekly chart, we can see it had, this major run up after the pandemic, and then it has been in decline since fall of last year. Broke down through its moving averages and is in major decline. We can also see a support level somewhere down here in the 40-50 range, which will be interesting in a minute. And again, we can look at the zoom out to the monthly. Again, we'll see very similar, major decline. We can see this, pandemic bottom, and again, the long-term moving average in the volume. So Now let's dig into some of the technical analysis, fundamentals, etc. Okay, if we look at the data on the technical analysis tab of their profile of ChartMill, we can see the technical rating is 0, very poor right now. It does have good volume, so it has good liquidity. We can see it has 2 important resistance areas at the 98 and the 114 to 116 area, so that's notable for the resistance. We can see the setup again at this point in time is very poor because it's in a downslide right now. We can see the industry. It's very red. It's making lows, so it's definitely in a downtrend right now as of this time. So again, the technical setup right now is very poor. So again, from a technical standpoint right now, it doesn't look like it's a good time to buy Square until it bottoms and gets some level of support. Again, we'll dig deeper into Square's fundamentals as a company, etc., its potential future, to see if it's worth waiting for that bottom and that swing going back up. Okay, if we look at the fundamental analysis data for Block Inc., Square, and ChartMill, again, we can see the fundamental is a 5, so it's just an average out of 10. We can see its strengths in the fundamental area are growth and health. We can see profitability. It does have a positive, but its rating is 3. So its profitability is not great, kind of poor. Valuation, it says it has a low PEG ratio, so that's positive, but again, the valuation is very negative. And most of the valuation metrics are negative, price to earnings negative, etc. So compared to book is poor versus industry is poor. EBITDA is poor, so but again, its strength is its growth. It's got a growth rating of 8 out of 10. So and you can see the revenue growth that's projected. You can see, an almost exponential growth curve. Similarly in EPS. So as a growth stock, its future looks very positive, but currently its valuation is poor. So its health ratings, it's a little 6 out of 10, so a little above average. It does have a positive Altman Z-score, so solvency is not a red flag as an issue. So it is a healthy company, so financial health is okay. It does not pay a dividend, and then we can see some of the detailed metrics. So now let's dig into some of the ratings, etc. Okay, if we take a real quick look at the analyst ratings for Square Block Inc., we can see it's very positive, 82% buy. We can see it's got a strong buy, 17, strong buys, 30 buys, a few holds, very few sells. So the analysts are very positive on Square. We can see the price target range from 106 to its current price is 71. The lowest price target is 106, and it goes all the way up to 325. So again, a lot of upside potential from an analyst viewpoint. Again, the analyst ratings are all very positive. Overweight, buy, etc. So recent upgrades, downgrades, and again we can see the analyst ratings are very positive. So the decline in price has probably attributed to increased buy ratings, etc. It becomes more attractive as the price decreases. If we look at some of the EPS estimates just very quickly, again we can see these almost exponential curves going up, which is positive from the growth standpoint. And then the financials, and we'll dig into these a little bit more in Webull as well, but you can see what's available in ChartMill. We can see the revenue, the curves are kind of nice, so we can see the trend of some of these financial indicators. So again, I'll let you dig into those in more detail. We'll look at a higher level view in Webull in a minute. And then again, we can see the ownership, a very small institutional ownership to only 24%. The public has 75%. And we can see the institutional ownership has declined. That's a little bit of a concern because institutions tend to hold longer than retail, and so there's a little bit concern about sellers pressure the stock. So then we can see insider buys, etc. And again, I'll let you dig into more detail on that. So now let's continue our due diligence. Again, we can see news here. We'll also do a quick view in FinViz and Webull in terms of the news. Okay, if we also take a real quick look at the profile for Square, Block Inc., and FinViz, and again, FinViz is a tool that we like to use for our due diligence. I'll leave a direct link to this profile in the description box below, as well as our affiliate link to FinViz. In the chart in FinViz, it's kind of nice. It shows the support and resistance lines, pivot points, etc., as well as the moving averages. So we can see that Square has a support level somewhere around this 90 area, a recent low down in the 82, and then it has broken down through that support area and is in decline. So it was in an upward trend until the market started getting pressure on growth stocks, tech stocks, in particular fintech stocks, and then we can see now it's broken down through support and is in decline, as we saw also at ChartMill. So if we zoom out, look at the weekly chart, again, very similar to what we saw in ChartMill. We see this steady decline. It's below its moving averages. We see this pandemic low down in the 36 area, and very little support before that, maybe in the 60 area. If we zoom out to the monthly, again, we'll see the steady, recent steady decline, plummet from its top. So we can see the top was around 289, and again, we can see this pandemic low. So from a metric standpoint, we can see again their market cap 41 billion, very large, make a lot of money. They have a lot of income. Their sales 17 billion, 166 million in income. It is optionable. So again, if you're looking at this as a long-term investment, it's an option to sell covered calls against your position, generate some income, some dividends for yourself. Although it doesn't pay a dividend, you can sell covered calls to do that. We see it doesn't have excessive debt. The PE is extremely high, and so that's where we saw the valuation issues. We see it's got a high float, 500 million plus. It's not heavily shorted. We see a target price of 160. So if we do a quick zoom through the news to see the positives and the negatives, again, you got some negatives, a lot of pressure again on the growth stocks, fintech stocks, etc. Their last earnings was on May 5th, so if we can see the reaction to earnings, it was very negative, minus 10% on the day of earnings. But people are calling it the top fintech stock. So and it had an earnings miss, so that explains the 10% decline. They missed on earnings, it went in decline, so that's negative. So if we look quickly at their financials in FinViz, we see their EPS that went negative. TTM went negative. It was positive. Revenue seems to be mixed, choppy. If we look at the quarterly, again, revenue is a little choppy, and the latest EPS, it's been negative the past 2 quarters. So that's again negative from a near-term standpoint. So let's continue our due diligence from here. Okay, if we also take a quick look at the profile for Block Inc., Square, ticker symbol SQ, and Seeking Alpha, and again, I'll leave a direct link to this profile and Seeking Alpha in the description box below. We can see some additional correlation with some of the information here. We see the author's rating is a buy. Wall Street's a buy. It's showing one of the things I like in Seeking Alpha is to see some of the article and news items. So here an analyst is saying it's headed to its pandemic lows. Punished. Great company, tricky valuation. So again, the valuation is kind of poor. See some of the news. It plunged, blah. Falls on Coinbase. So again, it's also sensitive to some of the crypto influences. It's a Kathy Woods ARK stock. So again, institutions exiting caused a decline. And they missed their EPS. So we see missed by 2. And their revenue missed significantly. So again, we can see all these negative pressures, near-term negative pressures. We can see their revenue has grown annually. If we look at the quarterly revenue, we see it's kind of gone flat. So again, kind of a negative. The earnings has declined. Looks like it's projected to increase, recover some. And annually, again, there's a near-term issue in the earnings and a bounce back, but only to the current level. So again, some near-term issues with Square. Again, the valuation, the PE is very high. Its growth rate's high, as we saw. It is a growth stock, so that's its strength. Profit margin is 28-30%. We saw the market cap. It does have $5 billion showing here in debt, so that's a little bit of a negative. They've got $5 billion in cash. High volume. Again, as we saw, here it's showing a 56% institutional ownership, so I don't know what that discrepancy is between the sites where ChartMill and we could see what FinViz said for institutional ownership. Okay, so it said 62%. So there's some discrepancy between ChartMill and FinViz and Seeking Alpha as to the institutional ownership. Peers, and we're going to talk about a little bit of these. These are the fintech companies, is what they're showing. In our opinion, PayPal is also another peer competitor to Square. Some of their products short interest, not heavily shorted. It's got a relatively high beta, which means the beta is positive, so it moves with the market and it moves faster than the market. So revenue's positive, net income, so that's a negative. Balance sheet, again, $5 billion in cash, $5 billion in debt. Solvency is positive. And again, the cash from investing was negative. And they do have positive free cash flow, so that's relatively positive. So that's the additional information and collaborating data we can get from Seeking Alpha. And now let's look at what we can see in Webull, and then we'll talk about the potential future we see for Square. Is it a stock we want to buy, watch, invest in, etc. going forward or not? Okay, if we also look at the profile for Square, Block Inc. in the stock screen in Webull, I like the additional data in the lower pane in Webull, as well as the support resistance levels we can see in the chart. So if we pop up this lower pane, we can see some, we'll see, again, the news, it just hit a low, etc. Again, Kathy Woods loads up, etc. We know it crashed on its earnings. So you can dig into those. I like these financial graphs. It's an easy way to see. So we can see the income, the actuals are reasonably close to the estimates, but in decline. So it's kind of a negative. The balance sheet has beat expectations, so that's okay. Cash flow, again, a little bit of a decline. It is above expectations. And the financial ratios, again, a recent decline back to expectations. Look at the income statement. Okay, that went negative. That's the net income went significantly negative, so that's very negative. Revenue is in decline, so again, that's a concern. And their operating income went very negative. So again, these financial metrics do not look good right now. Total assets increased, liabilities was reasonably stable, so their debt ratio did decrease recently, and their cash flow was increasing, and then you again have this major quarter decline. So the most recent quarter was very negative. We could see the analyst ratings in Webull. Again, buy based on 50 analysis. So mostly buy, 52% buy, 30% hold. We can see, the high here is a 310, the low 105. Currently it's at 71, and we can see some support resistance levels here. So it's threatening to break down through that lower or support level. So that's a concern as well. Again, we can see press releases, corporate actions if they were to have a dividend, and also insider activity. So we could also see that FinViz, etc. It is optionable, it's highly liquid. So that's positive. Again, if you were to hold this long term, you can sell covered calls against it and generate your own dividends. And if we look at the long-term chart in Webull, we can see it's sitting at this long-term support level and threatening to break down through that support level. And the next major support is in this 30-40 range, which was the pre-pandemic low. If we zoom in to, say, a monthly, again, we see it's been in decline recently, and it's threatening to break down through this support level. It's below its volume VWAP, volume weighted average price. So again, it's in major decline. So from all the data that we've derived from ChartMill, from FinViz, from Seeking Alpha, from Webull, and all the pressures on tech stocks, growth stocks, fintech stocks right now, and the increasing interest rates going into recession, etc., our assessment of Square Block is that right now, as of May 12, 2022, this is not a stock that we would want to buy in any near term. We'd want to wait for the market conditions, the market sentiment towards growth stocks, fintech stocks, tech stocks to improve before we would want to take a position for any period of time in Square. Now, in terms of a day trade, it is highly liquid. You can see it does move. It has been in a steep decline. You may get some violent reactions up or down. So in terms of a strictly day trade, there may be opportunities, but swing, it's not good. It's probably going to break down through supports below its VWAP. Or as a long-term investment, we will talk now about some of our experience with Square, kind of our thoughts on the potential future of Square. Is it worth considering for a longer-term investment, and or to reconsider in the future? Right now, as of the filming of this video, Webull is offering 5 free stocks when you open and fund an account. Typically, they offer 2 or more free stocks, but sometimes they have special promotions, so please check our link to Webull in the description box below. You can also find on the About page or the header of our YouTube channel, BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and or in the link section at the bottom of the About page. and or in the links section under trading platforms on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. And again, if you use our affiliate link to Webull, you can currently get 5 free stocks when you open and fund an account, and you can see those stocks can be up to $3,000 upon funding your account. So we hope that all helps. Okay, as promised, I thought I'd share some of our experience going back and both long-term and near-term with Square, and also kind of my opinions as to the potential future in Square. Is this something to revisit, keep a watch on for a longer-term investment, and if so, in what time frame? So in terms of our experience with Square, we've had a long history of experience with Square going back a number of years. We went to a Renaissance festival, and it was very interesting to see the vendors were already using Square with their mobile phones to take payments, in an area where there was no internet connectivity directly for point of sale. And so that was kind of our introduction to Square. We found that very interesting. They could take payments through their phone. And that was our first experience with Square. We thought that was very interesting, a lot of potential in that type of technology going back again a number of years. And then most recently, we were at a concert, and all the food trucks at the concert all were advertising and using Square. So again, their customer penetration in the small vendor, small business avenue seems to be very good, and I think that's very positive. I think that bodes very well for their future. I believe their technology is good, and I like to see these integrations with a customer loyalty program, the data analytics, etc. As well as it's interesting that they're going into banking, and we know, again, Jack Dorsey is a very strong proponent of cryptocurrency, so integration with cryptocurrency. In fact, now they renamed the company Block Inc. Because of the relationship with blockchain. So we can expect to see a lot of integration with blockchain technology. So again, the long-term future, the technology, and again, my opinion is I think Jack Dorsey is very visionary. Again, if we look at the metrics, the near-term metrics of the company is operationally, it has issues. So in terms of the vision of the technology, its penetration in the small, medium business arena, as well as its online payments. Now we were on PayPal probably since the very early days of PayPal. We have not tried Square for online payments, and it looks like that's something we need to look into, is it may be a more attractive option for online payments versus PayPal. PayPal has some issues in terms of customer relationships, etc. I'll probably eventually do a due diligence on PayPal to explain that and our experience with PayPal further. Also, I think Square, again, we talked about the penetration with the small, medium businesses, seems to be much better than the Venmo solution that PayPal bought, although I know Venmo is very popular with millennials. So again, the long-term future prospects and technology I think is very positive. However, in the near term, again, the market sentiment, the market conditions for technology growth stocks, and in particular fintech stocks right now as of May 2022 is very negative. Therefore, again, we're not going to be entering any position in Square anytime soon. We'll keep an eye on it for that long-term potential, and when it bottoms and eventually turns back up, and again, as we mentioned, their operations, their financial operations seem to have some issues that they need to correct before they can really realize that potential. So again, it's something we're going to keep in the database. We're going to keep an eye on. We like the company, the concept, etc. But the stock performance is very poor. The company operating performance is currently poor. So it's not something we're going to enter even into an investment anytime soon until it bottoms and starts to turn back up. So we hope that all helps. So please let us know in the comments below. Let's talk about it in our Discord and our Facebook group. What do you think of Square, Block Inc? What do you think of their technologies? Do you think they'll be able to overcome the negative sentiment in the fintech area? Do you think they'll be able to overcome their operating issues? What do you think that will take? And let's talk about it again. We look forward to hearing from you. We hope this all helps. And please let us know. The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. We also cordially want to invite you to our new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server, where we can have discussions on all topics related to trading, success in trading, investing, etc. You can see alerts when we make trades, changes to our watch list, etc. So again, please join us in the new BeachBum Trading Community Discord server. You should be able to find a link in the description box below. You can also find a link in the social media category on our web page, beachbumtrading.com, without the bum without the U, and also in the link section on the About page of our YouTube channel, etc. So again, we look forward to seeing you in the BeachBum Trading Community Discord server soon. Wave and say hello. Thank you again for watching our video. We hope that you liked it. If so, please smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Please share this video with your fellow traders and friends. And please give us your feedback and any recommendations for improvement in the comments section below. And let us know what else we can do to help you in your trading career. Thank you again, good luck, and have a great trading day. If you like this video, we hope you will choose to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the box in the upper left hand corner. You can watch another video like this by clicking on the box in the lower right hand corner, and we have a whole playlist of videos like this that you can access via the box in the upper right hand corner. Our latest video is available in the box in the lower left hand corner. We hope you like this and have a great day.